everyone, my name is Windsor Roberts, and today I am going to talk to y'all about injuries and setbacks. And trust me, I have had my fair share of injuries and setbacks in my athletic career. And I want to talk about one today that really changed my life and my walk with Jesus. So I was in eighth grade, some of y'all's age or pretty close to it. And I was on the track team at my school, and I had just come off a really successful seventh grade track season. I was feeling really good, and my identity at the time was really found in my success in pole vaulting. That was my sport. I love pole vaulting so much, and I was training year round for this sport. And I had a meet in January of my eighth grade year, and I landed weird during a vault, and I felt a shooting pain in my back, but I was really stubborn and wanted to keep going. So I didn't do anything about it for months, and I finally decided I should probably get this checked out. So I went to the doctor, they did some tests, and it turns out I had 2 stress fractures on my vertebrae, and they were on each side of my vertebrae, and they were slowly going towards my spinal cord, and they were hanging on by a thread. And the doctor told me that if I would have come in even days later, I could have been paralyzed from the waist down because they would have flowed toward my spinal cord and cut it off. And that was shocking in and among itself. But the more shocking thing that he told me was that I would probably never pole vault again, and that this injury would probably not heal, and I would have pain for the rest of my life. And at first I didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way, this is not possible. And I was like, what do you mean I'll never pole vault again? I love pole vaulting. And at first I was really mad at God, and I wouldn't talk to him. And I was like, why would you do this to me? This doesn't make any sense. I kept being like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, God? But I wouldn't, that's all I would say. And then I wouldn't listen to a response. And finally, after months and months, I was just like, all right, God, I'll listen to you. Finally, through the work of the Holy Spirit, you finally softened my heart a little bit so that I would listen. I realized that even though I said I was doing my sport for God, I really wasn't. And my identity in my life and what I thought my purpose was to be a good pole vaulter and be successful. And that was it. When in reality, the purpose in my life is to be a child of God and have my identity found in Him, because God will never change. God is the only thing that is constant in your sports throughout all of your setbacks and your injuries. And something that somebody told me recently that has been really helpful is that God is also grieving your setbacks and injuries along with you. He's not just, when you have an injury or setback, He's not just off in the distance being like, all right, well, come find me when you want to talk. He is there with you every step of the way, sad with you that you have to miss out on things and that you're hurting and in pain. But as you look back, and as I've been able to look back throughout multiple injuries and setbacks in my career, I've seen that God has had a purpose for each one of them. And it's really, there's my dog, and it's really to show the love of Jesus to other people through your setbacks and injuries. I've had teammates that have been like, I'm so sorry, Windsor, this has been a really rough season. And I'm like, yeah, but God is still good in it. And as I told you earlier, I was told I would never be able to pole vault again, and I'd probably have pain for the rest of my life. But through God's gracious love for me, I was able to pole vault a year later to the date that I was told. I had my first meet, and I PR'd in my first meet back, and I reached a barrier that I had been wanting to clear for a whole 2 years. And it was a year to the day that I was told I would never pole vault again. And if that's not a sign of God, I don't know what is. And then I went on to have a really successful high school career. And I went on after high school to do track at the Division I level. And I loved, I wouldn't say every second because I did have multiple injuries and setbacks, but I loved my time in the collegiate athletic world. And I'm just so grateful that when I was told I would be done, I got to have 9 more years of pole vaulting. And that's just a testament to God's goodness and love in my life. I'm sure he's working through something in your life too that you can't see in this moment, but it's for your good and it's working in your heart to work alongside your journey with Jesus. And so I hope that is an encouragement to you today.